The price board on this Mercedes GLC 400 EQ in Salzburg reads €91,196. The base in Germany starts at €71,281. That €20,000 gap on the same powertrain tells you more about how Mercedes thinks about electric ownership than any specification on the window. Whether the extras on this car justify a lease of €468 per month is the question this walkaround answers. In lavender silver metallic, this GLC carries the air suspension, rear axle steering, Hyperscreen, and a set of equipment Mercedes cannot yet sell separately. Seat ventilation is locked behind a package at launch. You cannot take it alone. That bundling explains how a car starting in the low 70s reaches the low 90s without a single AMG badge. The proportions on the show floor reveal something the press images conceal. This car is the same overall length as the previous generation GLE. Mercedes stretched the wheelbase 84 mm and used every one for cabin space rather than overhang. It photographs as a compact SUV, but parks like a midsize. The beach brown leather with black accents is one of 3 standard color schemes. Nappa leather is available only in Tagua brown and costs extra. The dashboard surface below the windscreen is finished in a Nappa look synthetic with decorative stitching that does not immediately announce itself as synthetic. I ran my hand across it twice before I was certain. The rotary controller on the steering wheel has a mechanical detent that communicates position without looking. That is a deliberate overcorrection from the capacitive touch Mercedes used on the previous generation, and the improvement in blind operation while driving is immediate. The front sports seats with massage carry AGR certification for long-distance back support. You notice it after an hour, not in the first 5 minutes. The center camera above the infotainment screen monitors driver attention for the passenger display, but it also enables video calls, including Microsoft Teams through MBOS. Whether you want colleagues seeing you at a traffic light is a separate question, but the hardware is there. The driver sits behind a steering column that adjusts electrically for reach and rake, which is standard. But the detail that earns its cost on the options list is the head-up display. Mercedes projects speed, navigation, and assistance status directly onto the windscreen at a focal distance your eyes read without refocusing. In a car with this much screen on the dashboard, the head-up display is the one piece of information you process without looking down. The voice system running through MBOS routes questions to 3 separate providers depending on what you ask, but none of them respond fast enough to feel natural. Rear passengers gain 47 mm of legroom, but the figure that matters more is the floor height. The battery sits flat below the cabin, so the rear footwell has no tunnel and no center step. The middle seat is a genuine third position. The backrest angle is slightly more upright than the combustion model, which helps headroom but means passengers sit rather than recline. On a long motorway run, that upright posture becomes noticeable. The boot holds 570 liters, around 20.1 cubic feet, with the floor dropping 80 mm for taller items. The 40-20-40 split folds electrically to 1,740 liters, around 61.4 cubic feet. Underneath, the battery cover is bolted rather than glued. If a cell module needs servicing, the electronics are accessible from below without removing the entire pack. I have not seen another manufacturer in this segment publish a repairability commitment this specific. Faster diagnostics, lower workshop costs, and a battery that stays modular years after purchase. 489 horsepower, 800 Nm, 4.3 seconds to 100 km per hour, around 4.2 seconds to 60 miles per hour. The battery uses silicon oxide blended into the anode, reaching 680 watt-hours per liter with reduced cobalt. That chemistry is why a smaller battery than the iX3 still delivers 645 km WLTP, around 401 miles, at 93% battery-to-wheel efficiency. Towing reaches 2,400 kilograms braked, with a 100 kilogram drawbar load rated for e-bike carriers. That last detail matters because most electric SUVs either cannot tow or cannot carry a loaded rack without exceeding the rear axle limit. €91,196 buys the complete specification. The base Sport at $71,000 starts without the air suspension, the Hyperscreen, and the rear steering. The battery does not change between trims. The range does not change. The powertrain does not change. What changes is how the car treats you while covering those kilometers. At this price, Mercedes is selling the treatment, not the distance. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions. I read every single one. And don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified about my next upload. See you in the next video.